You ever heard of the term "you are who you hang around"? You know what I'm saying? Birds of a feather flock together, things of that nature. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because their environment is built to keep them average. Let's talk about that shit. My bad. I got distracted because the goddamn fucking, the notification that pop up on the the MacBook. But anyway, let's keep going. What people get wrong. You know what I'm saying? There's key points I want to cover over in this podcast episode because it's just like a lot of people don't realize. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's not just a you thing. It is a you thing because you can control what's around you. The energy you put out is what you get back, right? You know what I'm saying? Whatever you put into the universe is exactly what you get out. Whatever you're looking for in the universe, you are what you attract. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I'm a big anime nerd. I like Full Metal Alchemist. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the first animes I watched that popped up on Saturday night around the time I wasn't supposed to be up at my grandma's house watching Toonami. And they talked about the law of equivalent exchange, where it basically said, I think I covered this in the episode before, but it basically said, to sum it all up, if you want some of equal value, you have to put in something of equal value in return. You know what I'm saying? So like, give up an arm and a leg for something. You know what I'm saying? You ever heard that saying? They literally did that in Full Metal Alchemist. But in terms of real life, when it comes to talking about your surrounding, it's gonna be, you know what I'm saying, people you hang around. You can't blame yourself, but you know what I'm saying? Your surroundings are part of the reasons why you are where you are as well. Because a lot of the times, if you hang around friends that aren't doing shit all day, you know what I'm saying? They don't have any ambitions. They don't have any goals. And all they do is sit around and smoke. Guess what you finna do? Sit around and smoke. You know what I'm saying? They don't got nothing going on. You can't expect something to change in your life when you're doing the same thing over and over again. There was a saying that I had heard: if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to find another goddamn room. I mean, that's just as simple as that. Same habits. You know what I'm saying? If your room looks like shit, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to probably perform like shit too. Like, because if you don't put in the time to clean up your room, you probably don't put in the time to do anything else either. You know what I'm saying? But results may vary on that, because I know me with ADHD, my brain just prioritizes other shit over other shit. So results may vary on that one. I ain't going to renege, because for some people, that is the case. Sometimes your environment consists of where you stay. You know what I'm saying? If you're complaining, oh, I'm in X, Y, and Z, I stay in a small town, I'm not gonna make it, blah blah blah. There ain't no resources around here. Well, that's where because you ain't trying to travel. You're not trying to move. You're not trying to get a job to save up money to get you a new opportunity, to be able to change your environment and your scenery to grant you new opportunity. You're not trying to hustle. You're not trying to grind. You're not trying to change. That's that I don't know, victim mentality mindset. You know what I'm saying? Where you're not willing to put in the work to change the outcome of your life. You got to be willing to grind. I mean, because it ain't easy. Changing is probably the most uncomfortable thing you could do, because humans are creatures of habit. We are comfortable with a routine, the same thing every day. But I mean, if you want to elevate, you're going to have to change. If you want to elevate, you're going to have to change. I mean, because there's plenty of people in this world that be wanting more out of life. Oh, I want to be rich. Oh, I want to be famous. Oh, I want to be this. Oh, I want to be that. But they ain't doing nothing towards it, because they realize how hard it is. It was something my coach said. One of my football coaches said. I can't remember his name at the moment, but he used to be like, everybody want to go D1, but you don't want to put in the work. That thing applies to like everything in life, because I mean, like, everybody wants something. something more than what they deserve. You know what I'm saying? Like if you truly want something, like you got to go out there and get it. And you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to take a chance, take a risk to be able to change what it is that your life. You gotta become. Charleston White said it best. I remember him saying this shit because I was scrolling through Instagram and he was talking about his environment and how he didn't like what was going on. And he had said something very interesting. The quote was like, "I became the change that I wanted to see." You know what I'm saying? It starts with you because, you know what I'm saying? It does. It really does start with you because you got to help yourself first. Once you change, then your environment change. People going to start noticing the change. And then I talked about this on the last episode as well, as like once people start noticing your change, people might fall back from you. It's going to be times where people will try to regress you back to who you used to be. Oh, you change, you start acting different, you start switching up. No, I just got my priorities right. I want more out of life. I'm not trying to do the same shit every day that I once did. And I'm not getting no results. I'm just stuck. Like it's going to be feeling like Groundhog Day, like a revolving door of the same shit. No success, no nothing. I'm still working the same job. I'm still working a 9 to 5. And I'm around here moping around like the rest of these motherfuckers. When I know in the back of my mind, I want something more, but I ain't doing shit about it. You know what I'm saying? It just got to be something that changed. This actually, you know what? I'm gonna say these core things. Like I feel like there should be a list of 1, 2, 3, and 4 and steps into becoming something different, into changing your environment and changing what's around you so that you can become more successful. And I think the first step into doing that is changing your mentality up here. It all starts in the mind first. Just how the brain works. The brain sends out a signal, and once the brain sends out a signal, the body does the action. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing you got to do is get into your mind that you want something different and you will do something different. And once you start thinking that, the next thing that you should do is start working towards it. Put it into action. Don't just let it be a thought. Put it into action. And once you start putting things into action, slowly but surely, you smart with, one small thing, make one small change. Don't try to do it all at once. You get overwhelmed. You have burnout, X, Y, and Z. But start with one small thing and then slowly build up into more complicated things, because it's just like what I learned in jiu-jitsu. You're going to hear me reference jiu-jitsu a lot on here, or MMA references, because I love that shit. But complicated moves ain't nothing but a series of simple moves put together. Learn the basics of whatever it is you're doing. Learn the simple moves first, and then compiling them together. And the next thing you know, you have something that is very complex. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to start somewhere. You got to crawl before you walk. And then next, once you start doing that, you'll start attracting other people that are either on the same playing field as you or 2 steps above. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you want, because I realize, I didn't realize it at the time, but I realized it now. In high school, I went to Bradwell Institute. Anybody that knows where that's at, that's where I went to school at. But we had a lot of basketball players that would be in our gym class, right? I love gym class. I double up on gym class on my schedule, because the year before I had took an extra core class, so that way I can do that like towards the end of my junior and senior year. I could double up on gym class. I just had nothing but electives to do, and that's exactly what I did. But I had this gym class with the basketball players, and you already know, I mean, I like playing basketball. I played basketball when I was at home, X, Y, and Z, etc. And playing with them, when you're in an environment where there's people better than you at what you do, and you're probably at the bottom of the totem pole, what happens is day by day, you start playing with these people. You start learning and picking up things for them. You become more competitive with them. And that shit makes you better. Like, bro, I kid you not. I kid you not. I ain't played basketball in a minute, but at the time, like I really had a 3-point shot. Like somebody in here in the comments gonna say, "Oh, he bullshitting. He couldn't shoot. He can't shoot." No, I literally real deal. Like I was at one point, I was decent at basketball because of who I was playing basketball with. And this was we got school 5 days out of the week. So I'm playing basketball an hour a day every day, including the weekends when I would go outside. Like, you think I wasn't finna improve? Like an hour a day every day for a whole school year, bro. Like, yeah, I was a mint basketball player. You know what I'm saying? I probably, if I had put more time into actually wanting to be on the team, I probably could have made it. But my focus was elsewhere at the time. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I just know my mom wanted me to run track, so that's what I ended up doing. But yeah, hell yeah, you can't expect to grow in the same place that taught you how to survive. You know what I'm saying? And this is exactly what this podcast was finna be about. But I honestly feel like most of America teaches you how to just survive, how to be average. Because, I mean, when you first start going to school, it's just like work. You go to work at a certain time in the morning, 7 to fucking 3. You clock in for hours. You're like a worker bee. They literally teach you how to go to work. They teach you how to work for somebody. You know what I'm saying? That's all you know how to do. They don't really teach you how to be autonomous, because, I mean, if they did, who would be the people that would work for these people? Somebody got to be a worker. You know what I'm saying? You can't have too many chiefs and not enough Indians. You know what I'm saying? However that saying goes. But I mean, I know for a fact there's going to be some people that was whenever I got my brain together, because I'm not going to lie, the way it started for me, the way I decided I wanted to change was I just had boredom was one of them. And I found I was trying to understand myself as I was going through life. In the military, all I did was play the game all day, X, Y, and Z. And at some point I was like getting tired of work and being told what to do. And I just knew I didn't really exactly have a structure problem, but I knew I wanted to be autonomous. I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to be my own boss. I didn't necessarily know what I wanted to do at the time, but I just was like, nah, man. This shit not for me. Working for somebody like and being expendable, and they get to treat you however the hell they want to treat you, because I mean, you need them. I don't want to need them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say this starts in the mind. It all starts from somewhere. It was just a thought I had in my mind where I was like, I don't want to have to need nobody no more and be dependent on what the breadcrumbs that they gave me and cause me to be dependent on them and me to need them. You know what I'm saying? And then that just starts with a thought like that. And the first thing on my mind, I was like, man, I got to find something. I got to find a idea, you know what I'm saying? A idea that will get me where I want to be, and to the point to where I'm at now with this podcast. But I had several ideas, and I had friends that had ideas too, but like, I necessarily didn't go out of my way to find people that were already at that point. I did with fighting, but that just came with... Actually, you know what? That's a good point. When I started fighting, when I started doing MMA, when I had found that was right after I had that thought, and I was like, wow, this is something I wanted to do. My first thing, when I was like, damn, I really enjoy this shit. I still do, but I probably wouldn't fight now, but at the time, like, once you go down that rabbit hole and you started wanting more out of it, life will put people in front of you that is already on that path. It was like I didn't have to look for these people. It was by chance, only because I wanted more. I wanted more, and I wanted success. I wanted to be good at my craft, and I end up running into people that were better than I or at higher places than I just by chance. You know what I'm saying? And just because I wanted more, I end up meeting certain UFC fighters and stuff like that and got to train with them regularly and things of that nature. And it was a blessing to me. Like, if you put in the work, God gonna reward you. I ain't gonna lie. It's just how it is. I did not have to look for nothing. I only thing I was looking for was an increase in my skills, and I end up running. You know what I'm saying? That you get that stuff put in front of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get that stuff put in front. It's almost like a reward for how far you've come. It's a chance to get better. And it's going to be like either you take it or you don't. But I mean, if you got that mindset, if you had already started in the mind, like you hungry and stuff, like I said, of course you're going to take that shit. You'd be a fool not to. You know what I'm saying? The opportunity, especially if they're willing to take time out of their busy schedule to help you grow and get better. You know what I'm saying? That's a blessing in itself. How environments silently control you. I'm going to break this down into 4 parts for you. So you feel me? People, friends who joke about your goals. Like, as soon as you start, and this is important and exactly why you got to change your environment, because people that don't want to do shit, once you decide you want to be shit, they're going to be like, oh, hell nah. Because it's like a crab at the bottom of the barrel mentality, because they felt like they known you for years. They're like, I'm not capable of shit, so I know you're not capable of shit either. Don't let me catch you trying to be capable of shit. So they're going to say and do anything. Oh, that's a bad idea, bro. Don't you think X, Y, and Z? I don't think that's going to work, bro. I don't think that's going to work. Nah, man, you crazy. You a fool, bro. Nah, that ain't going to work. Ain't nobody finna buy that shit. Ha, ha, ha. Trying to play it as a joke, but they're really hating on you. And that's why you can't be around people that don't got no goals or motivations or none of that, because that will directly affect you, because those people could get in your head, because we want to know what you are, who you hang around. You know what I'm saying? So you got to break away from those people. That's the first one. Family who don't understand your growth. You know what I'm saying? You may have an idea in your head. I remember this distinctively as the first idea that I had outside of fighting, because I was like, it would be a fun idea. You know what I'm saying? I wanted an ATV park, and they discouraged me. Because they were just, I don't know if they did it on purpose, but this is why you just can't tell people like what you got going on. Sometimes you got to just fucking do that shit. Take a risk, bro. I ain't gonna lie. If you don't take no risk, you ain't gonna never. Scared money don't make no money. That's what the old heads used to say. Scared money don't make no money. Sometimes you got to jump off the porch early. You know what I'm saying? Take that risk. Start buying shit and worry about the risk later. If you young, go on ahead. You ain't got shit to lose, bro. Like I said before, you already ain't got shit. You got one life. Go on ahead, and if you feel like that's something you want to do, take the chance. I mean, if you find yourself going out to go buy a lottery ticket, which is a gamble in itself, it shouldn't cost you much to invest in yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't allow anybody to discourage you. And then 2, once you're on a path to change, this is another reason why family is on here. Once you're on the path to change, friends and family start acting different towards you. Sometimes it's not always the case, but sometimes you're going to run into this situation where it just be like, they see you start acting different, and on your path to growth, you're not accepting the same things that you used to, or putting up with the same things that you used to. So they try to, like I said, they be like, oh, you switching up, blah, blah, blah. Or you disrespectful now, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Trying to regress you back to who you used to be. So you might come to a point where you might have to start cutting motherfuckers off. I'm not going to lie. You might have to start cutting motherfuckers off, because they're toxic to your growth. A plant has to have good soil for it to grow. So you're going to have to uproot yourself and move yourself to a new pot so you can turn from a plant to a tree. But if your environment isn't conducive enough for you to grow, I promise you it's going to stunt your growth, and you're going to set yourself back 5 to 10 years fucking around with the wrong people and the wrong crowd. You might end up in jail, you know what I'm saying? Because you refuse to change because of fear of abandonment and things of that nature. Change can be uncomfortable. Sometimes doing the right thing don't always feel good. People who settle and call it realistic. don't settle for nothing. I ain't gonna lie. The sky is not the limit. There is no limit. Fuck it. Go to the fucking moon, the galaxy. If you say one day I'm about to go to the fucking moon, do that shit. Hey, there is not nothing on this earth that you cannot achieve. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. Sometimes though, you got to keep shit to yourself. My dad used to say, don't tell the left hand what the right hand doing. And that's for a reason. That is for a reason, because I mean, words are powerful. The tongue is powerful. I remember saying this before. People can talk you out of some shit. You know what I'm saying? But you can't. You got to be mentally strong. If you feel like you're not mentally strong, keep certain ideas to yourself. If you feel like you easily talked out of it, talk about it after you already done started. At that point, it's too late. You already done started. And you knee deep in that shit. Don't tell nobody. Get knee deep in that shit where there's no point of return. You got to keep going now. Can't nobody talk you out of it. It's kind of like you done invested too much to quit. It's like one of them relationships where it's like, damn, I can't stop now. I done like, you know what I'm saying? Like people would, I'm not trying to compare this to, that'll be bad to do. I was about to say like a toxic relationship, but it's more or less this, like some of the concept from it is the same, to where it's like you put in X amount of time. So it's like you can't quit now, no matter how rough it gets sometimes. Actually, you know what I'm saying? In the relationship in general, like sometimes people be ready to quit sometimes when it get hard. It's going to get hard. I mean, ain't nothing in this world easy. Like I said, ain't nothing in this world that's worth being obtained gonna be easily obtained. You know what I'm saying? So like, you just gonna have to buckle down and fight. If everybody around you is comfortable, growth feels like betrayal. Don't ever be comfortable. Don't ever, like when it comes to growing and going to the top, don't ever be comfortable. Keep going. Don't stop and rest and be like, this is a good stopping point. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at some point, yeah, you can, when you made like, I'm talking about like an absurd amount of money you set for life. You know what I'm saying? You got generational wealth, and then maybe you might be good. But like the moment you start getting complacent, and the moment is the moment that is game over, in my opinion. But locations, you know what I'm saying? Location can be a pretty big reason as to why, like, you know what I'm saying? Your environment can control you, because small towns, limited opportunities, the same routines every day. I'm in a small town right now, but I plan to get out of here sooner rather than later. But you know what I'm saying? I know that there's opportunities elsewhere that I don't have to necessarily be buying it to where I'm at. I mean, I'm going to save my money and go find events outside of my city. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to use my small town as an excuse as to why, like, I'm not growing. There's opportunities everywhere. You just got to be willing to go out and find them. You know what I'm saying? Do research. Habits. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to change those habits. That's conducive to your growth as well. You know what I'm saying? Late nights, cheap dopamine fixes, no structure, going out to the club, blowing your money away. You know what I'm saying? If you're not structuring yourself now, like I talked about in my last episode, like if you're not structuring and fixing certain things now, you're also doing yourself a disservice of not creating an environment conducive for success. Your digital environment too, that's very important. Like I said, that's just like having sitting around with people in IRL. If you following people that are not on shit, like they're not doing shit, you know what I'm saying, then excuse me. Then when watching random shit, then that's what becomes normal to you. I mean, like, because whatever you put in your face and whatever you look at every day is, I mean, you're consciously teaching your brain to do that as well. Your phone is part of your environment too. Like your mama used to say, it's that damn phone. Yes, it is that damn phone. It can be that damn phone. Like watching brain rot content all day can affect you and brain rot you too. You know what I'm saying? But if you're watching stuff about success or growth, I mean, that shit, like, words are powerful. Like the stuff that people say, if they say it right, they can affect you. And whatever you look at, Whatever you look at on a daily basis, you know what I'm saying, can affect you. It might inspire you, you know what I'm saying, depending on what it's just like music. You know how like people like, they listen to sad music if they're in a sad mood. Now you're breeding a conducive environment for sadness. Or if you listen to hype music when you hype, that's the environment you're breeding for hype. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff matters. The content you consume matters. I mean, it may not seem like it in the grand scheme of things. Oh, it's just social media, blah, blah, blah. But like mentally, yeah, bro, that shit does affect you. Like if you really want to grow, like me personally, like when I started doing this shit, I'm actively watching videos of how I can get better with content, how algorithms and stuff work. People older than me that's giving advice about how they're 40 now and 40 tips they would have gave their younger self at the time. You know what I'm saying? Because I actively want to grow. I'm always asking older people what it is that they did to become successful and stuff like that. All that stuff will determine whether or not you increase your chances of changing your environment, because your mind starts to change, bro. Like I don't know what it is, like slowly but surely your mind gonna start to change, and all of a sudden you're a new person. You may not notice it, but everybody else will. I promise you that. Man, a lot of the times when I started to change, yeah, I think the first people that's gonna notice it for me was my family. I don't want to get into detail of that, but it's just like, you know what I'm saying? When you stop accepting certain shit, like you start excluding those people from your life. But when I truly believe in this saying right here, when you close one door, another one opens. New opportunity, new people that you were supposed to meet in the first place. You know what I'm saying? You have to be willing to cut those people off. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid of change, bro. You got to embrace change. Change is inevitable. I know we used to be in the same thing, and sometimes change can be uncomfortable, but sometimes you have to allow yourself to grow. Don't get in your own way. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That shit right there, that's a good one. Hold on, what I say? I said allow yourself to grow. Do not get in your own way because of your fear of change. Don't be scared of it. Be aware of it. Embrace that shit. Enjoy that process. Life is a journey. It was something a friend of mine said in military. Everybody is an experience. Everybody is an experience, and they can teach you something. Some people don't stay long because at the end of it all, you already learned everything you had to learn from that person. Or, you know what I'm saying? They were a lesson for you in that time or that season of your life that you needed. And now it's time for them to move on. Don't try to keep people around that's trying to exit from your life. Obviously, they want to leave, or it was meant for them to leave because it's time for somebody new to come in and you getting in your own way. The hardest part of it all is leaving or outgrowing. You know what I'm saying? I was just talking about this. Because people gonna try to make you feel bad for going a new way. You know what I'm saying? Be different and stuff like that. But honestly, if you really care about growth, like I said, if you started here in your mind, there ain't nothing that can stop you, bro. Do not let that stop you. You know what I'm saying? It's time to cut those people off. Your environment will either sharpen you or suffocate you, and staying where you are is still a choice. I'm going to say this one more time. Your environment will either sharpen you or suffocate you, and staying where you are is still a choice. You get to choose all of this shit. Everything that happens to you. Well, you know what I'm saying? What bro say? Like, you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me, you can't get fooled again. Some shit like that. Anyway, but like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, one time, like, it's like, yeah, but if you know that these people are not good for you and you keep them around, like, ultimately it's your choice to be able to leave. It's your choice to be able to leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get to make the decision of who stays around and what type of environment is around you. You do not have to deal with none of that shit. Get the fuck away from these people. If they not about no business, get the fuck away from these people. If they not about no money, get the fuck away from these people. If they not trying to be successful, get the fuck away from these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, put that on the shirt. If you not about that business, get the fuck away from me. Because where I'm trying to go is up. Progressively. And if you ain't trying to go, man, you finna get left behind. If you ain't growing, you ain't motherfucking going. The train ride stops here for you. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to end with something powerful. I want to end with something great, a message that y'all can walk away with. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole goal of this podcast and my YouTube in general. But I'm going to say this right here. If you feel uncomfortable right now, good. That means you're waking up. Don't shrink to fit your environment. Build the discipline to leave it. Yeah, that shit hard. You know what I'm saying? But before we end this shit, I just want to let y'all know that I am writing a book and I call it Mental Jiu-Jitsu. How to be comfortable being uncomfortable. It's sort of like a memoir where I talk about my life and put into perspective what it's like to go through these trials and tribulations and learning while you're growing. But like I said earlier, sometimes when you know better, doing right ain't always easy. So like you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So right now I'm on chapter 5 of this book. I think I'm gonna have about 10 chapters, but you know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna read y'all the intro of it, and then y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think, because this will give you the gist of what it's about better than me trying to explain it off the top of my head, because I'm the type of person where I just get to write and I'm just and I just like, I don't know, my mind be moving so rapidly. But here we go. This is the intro. I want to start. All right. Mental Jiu-Jitsu, how to become comfortable being uncomfortable. The intro. I want to start this off by saying something to you. You paying attention? Okay. First off, I like to say that I'm a human with regular human emotions. I'm in no way perfect. And even as I write this book, I understand this journey we're about to go on is one we're going on together. Just like in real life jiu-jitsu, because you get the next belt or even the highest belt, the journey is never really over. Honestly, that's when it actually begins. And just like jiu-jitsu, self-awareness and emotional intelligence is climbing the mountain. Even when you think you've reached the top, you realize there's still more mountains ahead of you and still more lessons to learn along the way. I say all that to say this. Everything I'm about to talk to you about in this book comes from my experience, my wins, my failures, the stuff I should have handled better, the stuff that taught me something later. I'm writing this to maybe help someone go through similar situations or someone who will be going through them. I think of this book as a map, a way I wish I would have climbed my mountains. The road is long and grueling, but there's a saying I heard in jiu-jitsu from a coach of mine, Mike Braswell. Shout out to Mike Braswell at Louisiana Black Belt Academy over there in Shreveport, Louisiana. But we're going to get back into it. You have to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. That's where I got the name of it from. That's one of the biggest things I realized. And that's the first step to solving a lot of problems. And even to this day, I'm still getting used to it because it's way easier said than done. And as humans, comfort feels normal. Anything outside of that or outside of our control puts us in panic mode. And that's what we want to do is run, quit, avoid, or force things back to normal. This inspiration of this book comes from a lot of things, mostly my childhood, teenage years, forming the coping mechanism and habit I still carry today. And now in my adult life, I'm realizing how much of those early years shaped who I became. My story will flesh itself out in the chapters, but I'll start by explaining a bit of my childhood, then my early adult years up until now. At the time of writing this book, I'm 26 years old. Still am. Hopefully by the end of this book, you'll either relate to me or learn something about yourself. The whole goal here is to look at yourself honestly. When you can understand yourself, it becomes easier to understand others. And when you can understand others, it gets easier to handle life without avoiding everything that makes you uncomfortable. And I know while writing this at the same time, family members might deny my story or try to downplay my experience. And honestly, that gives me more than enough reason to write it. I want to take control of what I know to be true. A lot of people will tell you how to feel, how you felt, and what you experienced in your own life. And to me, that's simply not fair. You're entitled to feel to your feelings and your emotions. And this is my story, my book. Nobody gets to tell me how to write it. And that's my intro to my book. I hope y'all found that interesting. If you stayed this long on the video, or if you listened this long on the podcast, or whatever platform that you decided to listen to me on today, I love all the support. And I just want to say we have reached 40 subscribers. And we've only been up for a couple of days now, but you know what I'm saying? It's most definitely a blessing. We got a long road ahead of us. And I just want to say, I'm going to end this off by saying my regular shit: no surrender, no retreat against all odds. It's been your boy, Anthony Jones. And also check out this poster back here I just got. You know what I'm saying? Y'all fuck with that? Y'all like that shit? I like that shit. But all right, y'all take it easy. It's been your boy, Ant. No surrender, no retreat. We motherfucking out.